In this video, we're going to talk about housekeeping in the office, why good housekeeping is critical, and some items to watch out for. So why are we looking at housekeeping in the office through a safety lens? Well, slips and falls are some of the most frequent accidents to office personnel. The vast majority of all accidents, particularly slips and falls, are preventable. And in this case, many of them could have been prevented through proper housekeeping. Proper housekeeping also helps eliminate fire hazards, prevents falling objects from items in storage, and helps clear clutter, which can help everyone be more productive on the job. Electrical cord placement is one of the most efficient areas of housekeeping in the office. Electrical or extension cords ran through high traffic areas can lead to trips and falls or damage the cord, which could be an electrical shock hazard or a fire hazard. In these situations, occasionally we'll find permanently ran equipment like computer cords in these high traffic areas, but more often we'll find temporary cords like fans, heaters, laptop chargers, things that might get moved at the end of the day or at the end of the week. But these are probably more of a hazard because they're not always there. Always route your cords away from walkways. Talk to your supervisor if there's a permanent cord in one of these areas. Temporary cords might take some ingenuity or temporary protection measures like covering them. Talk to your supervisor if you can't remedy the situation on your own. Shared office spaces like conference rooms, copier rooms, and file storage areas are some of the most efficient whenever it comes to housekeeping in the office. Make sure you pick up loose papers and trash to respect the safety of your coworkers. Somebody could easily slip and fall on just a small piece of paper. Straighten up the boxes and containers to prevent them from falling and help your coworkers to be more productive. That way they can find what they're looking for and get out of there quickly. Be especially mindful of boxes on high shelves. These could fall and strike a coworker. Dispose of empty boxes immediately. Just like paper and trash on the floors, an empty box can cause somebody to take a fall. And also make sure you shut file cabinets that are not in use. It happens more than you think. Someone takes a knee or a shin to a file cabinet door and they go for a fall. Shared spaces in offices may be the worst when it comes to housekeeping, but personal spaces also have the potential to cause harm. Though your office or your cube is your work area, you can still put yourself and others at risk with your poor housekeeping practices. Make sure you keep your work area organized. Clean up messes as they come. Empty the trash if it fills up throughout the day, even if it is going to get dumped at night. And be mindful of trip hazards. When you come in the morning and set your bags down, make sure they're out of the way of where people are going to be walking. Check your floor mats and check your extension cords and electrical cords and make sure they're out of everybody's way. While on the topic of preventing slips and trips, there are some other considerations we need to discuss as well. For one, make sure you choose the right shoe for the weather outside. If it's snowing or wet out, we want something that we're not going to be slipping and falling in. Also, whenever you get inside the building, if it's wet or snowy outside, dry your shoes immediately. You know as well as I do, a little bit of water on those tile floors can make them very slippery very quickly. You also need to clean spills in wet areas immediately. Everyone should have access to clean up materials like good mops or paper towels. Watch for floor mats curling or sliding, which can cause a trip or a slip, and report those to your supervisor as soon as possible. Report any loose carpeting or damaged flooring, and you also need to report stairs that aren't in good condition, like peeling treads or nosing or handrails that are coming loose. As mentioned before, fire hazards and housekeeping are strongly correlated. Fires can be prevented by avoiding clutter near hot water heaters, furnaces, air conditioners, and other large appliances. All of these larger appliances require 36 inches of clearance for fire safety reasons. Also, don't forget about your small heat sources, coffee pots, and candle warmers. Use common sense if you're going to have these in your office or in common areas. Be mindful of your electrical cords as well. Don't run them through high traffic areas or through doorways because a damaged cord is a fire hazard. The other side of fire safety would be egress or getting out of the building. Never block aisleways or emergency exits in case there is a fire. And while we're on the topic of emergencies, we should talk about emergency equipment. Never block emergency equipment like fire extinguishers, first aid kits, or AEDs. We need to get to these quickly in case there is an emergency. In conclusion, housekeeping in the office is just as important as any other dealership department. Being mindful and taking a few minutes a day to clean up after yourself can prevent injuries, because housekeeping is everyone's job.